Welcome to week 6 of our Pigskin Picks here on Delaware Live Sports. Benny Mitchell with Trey Mitchell. And let's get right into it. Trey, let's go with first game of the weekend, Friday night, 7:30, the Laurel Bulldogs and the Odessa Ducks. Laurel's coming off a tough 6-0 loss to AA Woodbridge, but that won't be a setback for the Bulldogs. You don't have to go undefeated until the state tournament. Laurel bounces back this week, and they bounce back big. I'm taking Laurel.
I completely agree. I think Laurel bounced back in a big way. That was a tough loss to take. I mean, we were there. It was a great game, great defensive game. Sucks Laurel came out in the losing end, but they bounced back in a big way, and they're going to win this game.
Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. Delmar Wildcats and the Sussex Tech Ravens. These two teams have been up and down all year. The Ravens are coming off a huge upset over Lake Forest and then a blowout last week over Brandywine. Delmar gets that big win over Cape and Lopin last week on the road, and a game they dominated for 3 quarters and then almost slipped away from them. Sussex Tech is big, and they pose a problem for Delmar. But the Wildcats, they handled a much bigger team in Cape and Lopin last week. The Wildcats won a close one here. I'm going with Delmar.
Yeah, I think Delmar proved they can win on the road against a bigger team. You know, Sussex Tech's going to bring a big crowd just like Cape does. And I like Delmar here.
Friday kickoff, 7 o'clock, First State Military Academy Bulldogs and the Seaford Blue Jays. First State Military comes to Seaford on a 2-game win streak where they've put over 70 points on the board in those 2 games. This week, Seaford finds themselves in the rankings for the first time in over 25 years. The Blue Jays are ranked number 5 in Class A. I think Coach Quillen will make this team realize they've worked too hard to allow an upset to happen on their own turf. Seaford wins.
Yeah, I agree. Seaford, they're having a great year. You know, Coach Quillen's doing a good job there, and I think Seaford's going to win this game.
Saturday kickoff, 10:30, St. Mark Spartans and the Concord Raiders. Class AA District 1 game where a win here pretty much clinches a state tournament berth under the new playoff system. I like the Spartans to get to 4-2 with a win here, St. Mark's.
Yeah, I like St. Mark's here as well. I think they're going to get the win.
Saturday kickoff, 1 o'clock, the Tatnall Hornets and the Christiana Vikings. And Trey, I've been to more games at Coder Field than probably anybody listening to our picks today. I grew up on Christiana football in the 1970s before my parents loaded up the truck and moved to Sussex County. Great memories sitting in that stadium with I-95, traffic buzzing in the south end zone. Christiana has seen 2 former players go to the NFL. The Vikings have struggled since the turn of the century. With several winless seasons. As much as I would like to call for the Christiana Vikings to get their first win of the season here, it's not going to happen this weekend. I like Tatnall on this game.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think Tatnall's they're gonna go in there and they're gonna find a way to win the game. Let's go with Tatnall.
7 o'clock kickoff in the state capitol. It's the Sussex Central Golden Knights and the Dover Senators. Dover tends to play some of their best football when the Golden Knights come to town. For the first time in several years, Sussex Central is the underdog in this game. Dover is ranked number 3 in Delaware and the Delaware Live Sports Class AAA rankings, but the teams from 3 to 5 plus are close. A lot of A beats B, B beats C beats A type of games going on here. This Friday night is going to be homecoming in the state capitol, but the Golden Knights will pull the upset. I'm going with Sussex Central.
Yeah, I was looking at this game. Exactly what you said. Dover, they play some really good football against Sussex Central, especially in the last couple of years. I think Central has to win this game. I think these are both 2 really good football teams. I know Central's not at home, but I'm still going to go with Central here.
Friday kickoff, 7 o'clock in Abyssinia Stadium, the Middletown Cavaliers and the Salesianum. This is an exciting matchup that goes back to the 1960s. These 2 have had some of the biggest games in the history of Delaware high school football. This year's game, we played for the first time in newly renovated Abyssinia Stadium, and for the first time, it's for a conference, league, district standing. The Cavs win this one. I'm going with Middletown.
Yeah, I think it's potentially be a really good game, but as Middletown's proven all year, I think their offense is going to be too much. I like Middletown.
And our downstate game of the week, Friday night, kickoff 7 o'clock, is the Caravel Buccaneers and the Woodbridge Blue Raiders. Back-to-back big games for the Blue Raiders. Woodbridge really hasn't had a breather this season, and looking at their schedule, they're not getting one. Their non-district schedule is brutal. This week, a strong and impressive Carabel Academy comes to Greenwood. The Bucks are 5-0, and while some say they haven't been tested, they have been putting points on the board, and their opponents have not. Here's the reset. Since 2016, Woodbridge is 4-0 against Carabel, 2 of them state tournament games. So Woodbridge can win the big game. Woodbridge hasn't lost at home since September 21st of 2018. A loss to Wilmington Friends by a field goal. Since going back 7 years to almost this date, this Friday, Woodbridge is 30-1 at home. Easy pick, right?
Sounds easy.
Woodbridge hasn't had a 100-yard rushing game in 3 weeks. They're 24% on third down efficiency over those past 3 weeks. There's a feeling in my gut that the Bucks steal this one on the road. I'm taking Carabel, but if Woodbridge is within a score in the fourth quarter, I reserve the right to change my pick.
This is a tough one to pick. I like everything you said there. Bucks have been putting points on the board. You know, Woodbridge is winning games, but they're not pretty. But you know, I like Woodbridge at home, and what's selling for me was Woodbridge's defense. I really think, you know, it was the reason they won that game last week. That's
last 2 weeks.
Team last 2 weeks. I mean, yeah, they had the big pass for a touchdown. But that defense is tough, and you know, I think the defense finds a way to keep them in the game, and Woodbridge's going to find a way to win in the fourth quarter. I'm going to go Woodbridge at home.
I tell you, you've been there with me. When you hear that "Fight Like Ford" chant, it makes the hair stand up on your arms. I tell you,
it's bone chilling, man. It's bone chilling.
Yeah. So here we go, week 6, halfway through the season. We're going to see some teams clinch playoff berths this week because now it's the top 4 team in each district gets to go to the playoff. District 3 is going to be a fun one, and that is a District 3 game with Carabel and Woodbridge. They're the top 2 teams right now, both 5-0 coming into this game, so it's going to be a good one. So, folks, we'll see you at kickoff tomorrow night. For Trey Mitchell, I'm Benny Mitchell. We'll see you on Delaware Live Sports. Kickoff at 7 from Greenwood.